What is up, guys? Welcome back to Will of DDT. My name is Anonymous, and today we are going to be talking about OP11 again. I did not think I'd have news so soon to talk about, but Bandai just keeps giving us goodies to discuss, so let's talk about it. Before we jump straight into the new reveals that came out this morning, did just want to shout out our sponsor, Dueling Guard. If you guys want some really cool deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, custom leaders, just any gear for your One Piece TCG playing experience, definitely check them out. I will leave a link in the description down below. If you use that link, you will get 5% off your order, and if you use their new bundle feature and buy any 3 items, you'll get an additional 10% off, so up to 15% off your order. Really sick stuff that on their website, so definitely check it out if you're interested. In any case, guys, let's dive right into the new reveal. So first off, we have alt arts for all 6 OP11 leaders, guys. Personally, I'm feeling a little mixed about it. So this is the OP6 style, guys. At this point, we've kind of seen a lot of different alt art styles for leaders from Bandai, and they're starting to recycle them. So they're finally recycling OP6 here. If you guys recall, in OP6, they had a sort of a weird thing going on where 3 of the 6 leaders were in one art style and the other 3 were in another. So they're doing that same thing here again. So in OP6, Moria, Hody, and Reiju looked kind of like 3D renders, like very few outlines. They looked more like highly shaded and yeah, just sort of like a 3D almost claymation sort of look to them. And then the other 3 leaders, Yamato, Perona, and Uta, were like very hand-drawn. So over here we have the same thing going on. The top row here, Koby, Nami, and Shirahoshi are very kind of like hand-drawn, just like very detailed animation looking. And then the bottom 3, the Luffy, Cat, and Jinbe, are looking very like 3D, very like like 3D models, 3D render sort of thing. So yeah, they're copying that OP6 alt art leader style. I really want to see OP3 again, personally. I thought OP3 was the most unique leaders. I know they're very, very polarizing, but I love those a lot. And they just have not reused that, and it's been such a long time. So I want to see those personally, but for what these are, they're pretty good. I'm definitely going to be playing freaking Koby, and he looks good enough. Eyes are a little big, but overall, I think I like these artworks. I think the Katakuri looks really sick, and the Koby does look pretty damn good. And obviously, I'm sure the Nami and the Shirahoshi are going to have some waifu tax on them, and Luffy is going to be pretty expensive as well. So definitely a good round of leaders here. If you pull any of these, I think you'll be pretty happy. But in any case, let's move on. We've got some character reveals, guys, so let's get right into it. For each of the decks, we've gotten some new key characters. So Jinbe is the pure green leader from OP11, and here we have a 6-cost 8k character, Jinbe. And his ability on play, if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type, you can rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So just 6 done, rest of 5. That's pretty damn good. And then, activate main, once per turn, you can give up to one of your fishmen or merfolk the ability to attack characters in the same turn that they're played. So this is pretty dope. Jinbe can actually grant this ability to himself because there's no cost stipulation. So you can just play this guy, rest of 5 cost, activate his ability to give pseudo rush to himself, and then just attack the thing that you rested. That's really good. Actually, in the last video that I made about the OP11 leader reveals, I kind of speculated that Jinbe might be like a pseudo rush deck. Turns out that that's actually what they're going for. So I just kind of made that comment offhandedly, but it looks like that is actually what they're trying to do here. You have the 6-cost Jinbe who can grant the pseudo rush to himself or any of your Fishman characters. You've got the promo Shirahoshi that we showed in that last video, who can also grant pseudo rush to your Sea Kings. And then you've got cards like Fisher Tiger. I think I called him Aladdin in the last video, but that's a different Fishman. Fisher Tiger can also, I think he's an OP6 or OP7 card, I forget, but he's a green 5-cost 6k that can attack characters in the turn he's played. And then your leader will be able to restand any of these guys if you want to keep them safe from attack the following turn. Obviously, you want to restand your weaker units. An 8k unit like Jinbe, you're totally fine leaving that rested. Your opponent is not going to want to swing into an 8k. So using Jinbe's leader strategically, along with lots of cards that can just abuse this pseudo rush mechanic, is going to be really interesting. So this may be a little bit better of a deck than I thought, depending on just how annoying it turns out out to be, just getting things swung at repeatedly. If Jinbe has the ability to rest things and then also swing at them with characters that were just played that turn, it might actually be decent. So I'm excited to see where Jinbe goes. Next up, I'm going to be honest, I have the least interest in this one, so we're just going to go over this real quick. We've got Neptune. This is a 5 cost, 7k, so a decent stat line, and it is for Shirahoshi leader. Of course, on play, if your leader is Shirahoshi, you can turn one of your life cards face down, so that is good because Shirahoshi leader needs to have her cards face down in order to use her effect, because she flips one face up in order to play out Sea Kings from hand for free. So this will allow you to flip your life back face down, and then you draw 2 cards and discard 1. It's actually a very good card for that deck. Again, I just don't have much faith in Shirahoshi actually being a good leader, but we will see. Who knows? Maybe if the Sea Kings are just like really, really good, it could be a decent leader. And this is a 5 cost 7k that can be cheated out by that promo Shirahoshi that we covered in the last video. So again, if you don't know what cards I'm talking about, definitely check out the previous video. I'll leave a link to the description down below. But yeah, this might have some pretty good synergies with that promo Shirahoshi and the leader as well. Moving on, we've got a 10 cost 12k Big Mom. This I think we had to assume was coming. The 10 cost 12k Emperors are just kind of a mainstay of this game, and anytime a leader is released that has some sort of like relation to one of the Emperors, you can expect that they're going to release a new 10 cost. So here we've got a new 10 cost Big Mom, not nearly as busted as the old one. The old 10 cost Big Mom is still probably one of my most hated cards in the game. But this one is, if your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, which of course Katakuri does, this character gains Rush. So it's a 10-12 rusher. Solid, but you know, Shanks already does that job better. But then let's look at the second effect. On opponent's attack, once per turn, Dawn -5. That's a lot, man. Dawn -5 is crazy. But you can declare a cost, reveal 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck. If the revealed card has the same cost as the cost you declared, you can give your leader plus 2k power during the turn. So you make your Katakuri leader a 7k leader for the turn. You know, again, this is like Dawn -5 is really nasty, and this is kind of a weird card, right? Because I think Katakuri needs to ramp to 10 really fast in order to make this card like a really solid threat. You want to hit it on turn 4, but Pudding is really the Big Mom leader that is able to hit turn 4 10 drops very reliably. I just don't think Katakuri will be able to. Again, we haven't gotten all the support revealed yet. Let's see if they announce some like really cracked ramp cards for Katakuri. But barring that, it just doesn't seem like he's able to reliably hit a turn 4 10 drop, you know, just at, you know, as reliably as Pudding does. And if you play this and then you have to like neg 5 Dawn, and also you have to correctly declare the cost of your opponent's top deck card, which means you're going to need to use your Katakuri leader ability. So you're going to, when your opponent attacks, your Katakuri leader is going to -1 Dawn to check the top card of their deck, and then you're going to -5 more Dawn from Big Mom to declare the top card of their deck, and then when you do inevitably get it right, your leader becomes a 7k for the turn. It seems like a very, like, you don't want to use this right away. This is something that you want to use when you've already got like maybe 2 of these on the board or something, and you can just like, you know, you're already in like a winning state. You just need to survive till the next turn, that type of deal. This doesn't seem like an on opponent's attack effect that you can just like spam once you've put this thing on the board, because Dawn -5 is disgusting, and in order to reliably even get the effect, you need to Dawn -6 because you need to do the leader ability as well. So yeah, it's just I don't know that this card is very good. And then in Pudding, it's like you can ramp to this faster, you can play it quicker than Katakuri probably can, but in Pudding you have no way of looking at the top card of their deck, unless again we get some characters who are able to do the same thing as Katakuri leader. You don't have any way of checking the top of their deck, so Pudding can't really make very good use of this card except for just it being a big rush body, which is not all that exciting. So honestly, this is a pretty mediocre card. We'll see if I end up being proven wrong, if the package just makes this thing very cracked, but we will see. Black Maria might mitigate that Dawn -5, but so far this isn't looking that great. Next up, we've got some blue cards. I don't know whether these are meant to be a blue-purple Luffy package or blue-yellow Nami package. I don't really know which one these are tailored for, but I guess you could probably use them in either. So we've got a 5-cost 6k blocker Nami here, 1k counter, obviously searchable because she's a Straw Hat pirate, and we have a new blue 1-cost beige who can search for blue Straw Hats. And then this is going to be a blocker on play for leaders multicolored, draw 3 cards, and place 2 cards on the top or bottom of your deck. So that is pretty cool. You do get to stack either the top or the bottom. Generally, though, you're probably just going to put them at the bottom. You want to see new cards. It's decent. It's nothing crazy. Just basically sort of a queen effect, I guess. It's a bit of like a queen effect in blue, essentially. And then over here, you draw 3 and get rid of 2, so it's a little better than queen, actually. It's more like Shirahoshi, I guess, while establishing a blocker, which is solid. And then here we've got a 6-cost 7k Sanji, and he is, again, Straw Hat, so searchable. Also Vinsmoke, which is interesting to note. And then when this character is KO'd by an opponent's effect, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play up to 1 character with the Straw Hat crew and a cost of 5 or less to the field, and then place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So basically, this Sanji deters the opponent from using KO effects. If he gets KO'd by effect, he gets to play out a 5-cost from your deck for free, which is really neat, actually. But people are just going to avoid KOing him, so I actually don't think you're going to get this effect off very often. It's just kind of a deterrent. It tells your opponent, like, hey, you better not KO me, which is, pretty solid. I mean, the 7k threat is a 7k threat, so they have to essentially swing into him or leave him on board, or if they do choose to KO him, you're playing another unit for free and replacing him. So it's actually solid pressure, whichever way you look at it, but I don't think it's amazing necessarily. And then on play, you get to return a character with an original power of 5,000 or less to the owner's hand, which is kind of strange. I think this is like the second card we're seeing now where blue is working off of power. Traditionally, that's been a very red thing. Everything else, all 5 colors are cost based, and then red is the only one, and occasionally purple is the only one that works off of power. So seeing blue cards that work off of enemy power is a little strange. I'm not sure that I like that. I think we're blurring the lines a little bit of color identities, but whatever. I guess returning a 5k to the owner's hand is not bad. That generally equates to a 4-cost. So yeah, it's decent. Next up, we have got an 8-cost. This is going to be one of the secrets for the set. 8-cost, 8k Luffy. This is a rush character. Blue finally has good rush, not just freaking the 4/5 Usopp. It's actually a good rush character, and when attacking, you can discard a card from your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand, and then give a rested Dawn to any of your leaders or characters. So he is essentially he's an 8/8, but when he attacks, because he'll attack right away since he's rush, he becomes an 8/9 because you get to attach a rested Dawn to him. That is very solid, and you get to bounce a 4-cost, most likely a blocker on your opponent's side of the board. That is really solid. More than like the Luffy from the set or the Nami from the set, I see this probably seeing play in Usopp. I think blue-black Usopp might make really good use of this card. You can even lower the cost of something using like some event or whatever, a cheap event or cheap, like Suru or something. I don't know what cards you might play in that deck after this set comes out, but yeah, you could reduce something and then get it to 4-cost, and then spend 8 Dawn to play this guy, swing, and then bounce the reduced unit. So you can get rid of like a very big unit depending on what kind of cost reduction you use, and then this guy's swinging 9k at face or wherever, which is pretty solid. So I think this is a decent card that we'll see play in some niche decks, but remains to be seen if it's actually that good in blue-purple Luffy or in blue-yellow Nami. I think this will probably be best in Usopp, and maybe like, I don't know, I've seen some people talking about Dofi, but like, I don't think you want to play 8 costs in Dofi, to be realistic. And next up, guys, this is what I'm hyped about. I want to play Koby leaders so bad, and this is just getting me even more hyped. First of all, this is cool to see here. We've got a a secret rare Koby, so he's the other secret of the set, 8 cost 9k, and we've got a searcher who is a red 1 cost. So we've got the black secret rare Koby and then the red SR Peacock over here, and this is really neat because it confirms what a lot of people were thinking, which is that since Koby is the only leader in OP11 to be either red or black, which I think that's a first. I think it's the first time that any leader in a One Piece set has had dibs on like both their colors for that set. Since this Koby is the only red and only black leader in OP11, people were speculating that the red cards and the black cards would be like Koby support. Obviously, there will be some stuff that's like previous set support, but people were speculating that like Koby will have support from both the red pool and the black pool in OP11, which is very rare usually, or at least there's very little support usually from the second color for most new leaders when they debut, and this guy looks like he's going to have support from both, which is really cool. So the 8 cost 9k secret character, let's get into it. On play, up to one of your characters can attack your opponent's active characters this turn, and he can grant this ability obviously to himself. So he's an 8/9 that can rush because your Koby leader grants him pseudo rush and allows him to attack characters the turn he's played, and then he can attack active characters the turn he's played thanks to his own ability. So you're just playing an 8/9 that's swinging into whatever your opponent just put on the board last turn, which is really freaking solid. And when attacking, this part's crazy, you can return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. So we're confirming here that, you know, this is a deck that's going to use its trash as a resource. The leader, of course, sends 3 from trash to bottom deck in order to protect against removal. And then this secret character, when attacking, sends 2 to the bottom in order to give one of your leaders or characters plus 1,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. You can make your Koby leader a 6k base by playing this guy and attacking with him. It is so freaking cool. This deck is going to be so strong. Man, I'm loving this, dude. I think this character is awesome. This is really well designed. Both Jinbe and Koby seem to have this strat of just attacking at board using these like pseudo rush effects, and this 8/9 Koby is just freaking awesome, man. He looks really good. He makes your leader a 6k power. Some people have pointed out that the ST14 Luffy requires the ST14 Luffy, requires an 8 cost on board in order to become a 6k himself by his own leader ability. He becomes a 6k. This Koby is not leader locked, so you can actually use this Koby to make your ST14 leader a 7k on defense. So a lot of shenanigans in this set. The 10 cost Mom, the blue yellow Nami, and this 8 cost Koby that are allowing you to make your leader a casual 7k on defense, which is really funny. But yeah, that is a sick ability. I think this is going to be a really good card. It's going to be a secret though, so going to be expensive, which is going to be a bit of a pain to get your hand on a playset, but hey, it is what it is. Very nice card, very nice artwork, and yeah, I'm loving where this Koby deck is going. And now let's check out this card over here. We've got Peacock, who is a red character, a 1 cost, there's a typo here, 1 cost 0k power. She's not 2k, she's 0k power, but on play, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal a Navy card other than Peacock, which this kind of confirms that the sword characters will also be Navy characters. So that is good to know. Who knows, they might surprise us with like a few exceptions where it's like there's a character who's sword but not Navy, just so that they're not searchable, but I highly doubt it. I'm pretty dang sure that they're going to make all sword characters Navy as well, and Peacock is going to be able to look at top 5, find a Navy other than herself, and then add it to your hand. And then, this is crazy, man, this is power creep straight up. Activate main, you may trash this character and give up to one of your characters plus 1,000 for the turn. So she is a searcher who finds a character and then sits on board. Usually searchers just sit there, they're dead. I mean, like, sometimes you want the 2k swing to get rid of, like, you know, certain small units on the enemy's board, but that's pretty uncommon. Vast majority of times your searchers is just going to sit there and not do anything in particular. This is a searcher who finds you a card and then sits on board, and when you're ready to use her, can trash herself and then buff something by 1k. You can buff one of your actual attacking units by trashing the searcher, which is so good. You're getting double value out of her. Especially in this leader, you want more things in trash in order to enable your leader ability, and also of course your secret Koby ability, and I'm sure there'll be other sword cards that work off of trash, sending things back from trash as well. So she is going to fill up your trash by trashing herself, and then buff something by 1k, and it's just going to be such a good curve, man. You play this on turn 1, you find something, you find one of your sword units, you play that sword unit the next turn, and then you trash her to buff that sword unit by 1k, and then that sword unit gets to pseudo rush at one of your opponent's characters, which is so good, dude. I think this deck is gonna have just an immaculate curve, and now we know that since we have another searcher, that we can like triple up on searchers. We can play 1-cost Sengoku, we can play 1-cost Peacock, and we can play 2-cost Brand New in order to fill up our trash and find all the pieces that we need. And man, it's just looking so good, dude. I think Koby is gonna be really powerful. I'm very excited for this, hoping also that we get some cool cards that may support Garp as well, just kind of offhandedly from Koby's set, that might also make the previous red-black leaders kind of good, but let's see. Alright guys, and that's all I've got for you today. This is what we got announced just this morning. Again, as more OP11 news comes out, I'm going to keep making videos, and let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what cards you guys are excited for, what theories you might have about cards that we'll be seeing upcoming in this set. And yeah guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video. Peace.